Oh god, oh god, oh god. No, 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 no! Hey guys, what's up? Trey Jane here, and welcome back to another video. Today we are back on VanillaCraft, and today we are going to be decorating. We've somehow made it so far into the series without doing any decorating at all, so I thought it would be fun to finally furnish my house and the inside of the tower that we built in last episode. So the first thing that I want to do today is decorate the inside of the tower, since last episode we left it unfinished. Now the bottom is pretty much decorated. And for the top floor, where we have the enchanting table, I got a couple more bookshelves. We're only missing 3, which I can get off camera, but I thought that it would be fun to add a little chandelier up there and also some leaves to make it feel a little more magical. So I think we should start with the top of the tower, since that should be pretty easy. So in order to do that, we are going to need some oak leaves, some fence posts, and some lanterns. So let's go get that. I'm really hoping that I have enough leftover leaves from last episode so we don't actually have to go out and get some. Now look how empty my house is. We are on the 9th episode and it still looks like this. This is embarrassing. But I promise by the end of today's episode it will look fantastic. Okay, so we have a bunch of leaves. We also have some more stone bricks. Let's go ahead and craft some lanterns. And now we should be ready to go decorate the inside of the tower. So now we can go ahead and start placing the leaves around. So now that all of the leaves are placed, let's go ahead and build a little chandelier. Now let's place the lanterns, and there we go. I think that this is really cute. And then I also want to put like one bookshelf in each of these corners and put another lantern on top of it just to light up the space a little more. But I think that this feels really magical, and once we get a couple more bookshelves, it should be completely finished. And I'll probably show that to you in the next episode. So now that this floor is done, let's move on to this floor. So I really want this to feel like a potion brewing area, so we're gonna need a couple things. So I'm gonna go ahead and place a lantern at each of these windows. And I think it would be cute to put some leaves at the top of each of the windows. Now I think I want each of these little windows to have a different purpose, so I think I'm going to leave this one as a little lookout because it just has such a lovely view of the waterfall, our house, our little farm. I think I'm going to put some cauldrons here, the brewing stands over here, and then maybe some nether wart over here once we make our way to the nether. So let's head home and grab a couple of materials and also go to sleep so we can avoid the mobs. I'm also going to go ahead and make some flower pots because I think that those would look really cute on the windows. And there we go. We should be ready to go decorate the inside of the tower. Ooh, there's a wandering trader. Do you have any good trades? Not really. It's pretty bad deals, dude. I'm very sorry, sir, but I do need those leads. Oh no, I set them both on fire. Thank you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh god, they're following me. Okay, let's get up the tower to escape the llamas. And now we can finally decorate this space. So the first thing I was thinking of doing is having one of these in each of these little corners here, because I want it to feel very green and like very alive. Over here I think we can build a little shelf where we can put the brewing stand. And on each of these little windowsills I'm going to put a flower. There we go, that looks really cute. Now let's go ahead and put some of the cauldrons here. And then in these little spaces I'm going to put some chests. And there we go, I think that looks really cute. We might need to put a couple more lanterns in here because it is a little dark. So this is the top of the tower for now. I think it's really cute. I think it's very green and like witchy. I really like it. And once we go to the nether, we can update it. So now that the tower is complete, it is time to start decorating my house. I am really excited for this because I, as you can see, have not touched the inside of my house at all. I have a bed, a couple furnaces, and a couple chests, and that is it. So I think I'm going to start with the basement because the basement is pretty empty right now and we are in desperate need of updating and organizing our chests. So I'm going to build a couple more of these. So we're going to build one this way. So now let's just fill those up with chests. Also light this up a little bit more, and then off camera I'm going to go ahead and sort through all of these chests and make it look nicer. So the next thing that I wanted to do was turn this into a little smelting wall and just a smelting area in general. We got a lovely suggestion to do this very early on into the series, and I think it's a really good idea. So we're going to need quite a few furnaces for that. Now the last thing that I wanted to do in the basement today was add a little gate here because we have a huge mine down there and I don't want any mobs, especially creepers, wandering up and coming into my house. We have already had a experience with a creeper in this house and I'm not looking to have another one.
Flashback.
Ah! No, 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 no! have all of the gates down, so now no mobs can come up and blow up our house again. This is the little basement area for now, but if you have any more ideas for what to do down here, please let me know in the comments below. I read all of your comments and I usually take every single suggestion, so feel free to leave them. Now that the basement is done, let's work on this ground floor here. So I want to make my house very green. I want to add a lot of plants. I want to have a lot of leaves around. So what I want to do is add some of those like leaf planters over here right next to the doors, like this. And I think that that looks really cute. Now something else that I wanted to do was build up this stairwell and then put some lanterns on here. Now I also want to make this a little living room, so let's make that out of dark oak logs and try to make it look like a little couch. And then we can have a little lantern up there. And then I thought it would be really cute to have a little fish tank over here with a little crab in it. So this is our little living room. Now over here is where I want to make the kitchen. And I really want to make it with tiled floor. So in order to make the tiled floor, I'm going to use stripped dark oak logs and stripped pale oak logs. So let's go ahead and get rid of the floor. Oops, didn't mean to do that. So now that the floor is gone, let's go ahead and start placing them. It looks a bit ugly right now, but I promise it'll all come together. So now we just go ahead and do this. And there we go, that looks really cute. So for the kitchen, I think I'm going to have 3 furnaces right there. And then I'm going to build a little fridge right here. So I'm going to use an iron door for the fridge, very classic Minecraft. Then we use these spruce stairs as the counters, and then above, for these shelves, I'm going to use these barrels. And there we go, we have our little kitchen. I'm going to get some item frames and put some food in there off camera, but I am going to put a little flower pot there and a player head there just to decorate it a little bit more. So let's go ahead and put down a little oak sapling right there. And finally, we're going to place down this little jam jar in this corner, and I think that this looks adorable. Now that the kitchen is done, we're going to need a place to eat, and I think that right here would be perfect for that. Now, this may not look out onto anything spectacular, but I do think it would be cute to have a little window here and then have the table right here. So I'm going to make the table out of oak slabs and then use the dark oak stairs for the chairs. Alright, we're going to use these stripped logs for the table instead. I think it looks a lot better. Oh, there's a zombie in my pond. It's quite rude. Oh. No. There is a zombie and a creeper in my backyard. But we'll deal with that later, as long as they don't try to come in through here. That would be a problem. So let's place this down before that zombie and that creeper decide to come inside. Now, in order to make it look a little bit more green, I think I'm going to put some plant holders around it as well. Hey bud, can you not stand right outside my door? Right, there we go. Now let's put a little lantern over it to light it up more. And there we go, that's adorable. Now we're going to need some food at the table, so I thought it would be cute to make a cake and put it on the table. So in order to make a cake, we're going to need 3 buckets of milk. So let's make ourselves some buckets and head on over to the farm to milk our cows. While we're here, we are also going to need some eggs, so let's grab those. Now we're also going to need some wheat, so let's head over to our wheat farm and grab some. Now all we need is some sugar, which luckily we have plenty of from the incident from last episode. So now that we have all the ingredients, let's go ahead and craft our cake. Perfect, and now let's put it on the table. And there we go. Now that that's done, we have this little space over here, which I think would be really cute to build a little bookshelf. So let's start by outlining it with some dark oak logs. Let's create like a zigzag pattern with them. And I think that that looks cute, and then we'll just fill in these little gaps with some items. So let's start with some flower pots. So we'll put one here and one up here. Now, of course, let's grab some flowers for those. And that looks really cute. And up here, we're going to put a little TARDIS. And I think that that looks adorable. So now that that's all done, we have a lot of open space, and I'm not sure what to do with here. I think I might make it a little smaller by adding some fence posts here. And then I think adding a carpet here will really pull the area together. So let's grab a pair of shears. This is exactly what I was talking about. This is exactly what I was talking about. He could have wandered right into my house. Do not. Oh god. No. And it still happened. Let's go ahead and rebuild that. The damage could have been much worse, but I'm still mad that it happened. As I was saying, let's grab a pair of shears and let's make our way to our farm. So now that we have a bunch of wool, let's head home. So let's go ahead and craft some carpet. You can dye it red. There we go. I think that that's really cute. So now that the downstairs is all furnished, let's focus on the upstairs. So far, all we have up here is a bed and a single... I forgot what that was called. So I'm gonna have all of my animals come with me downstairs while I work on the upstairs. So we got Dusty, Cherry John, who's trying to jump out the window again, and Pepper, who's trying to leave the house. Do you guys hate me? Alright, so now we can finally start working on the upstairs. Now, I really like where my bed is, so I am going to keep it there. I think I'm going to use spruce logs to kind of like separate the areas a little bit. Alright, it might look weird now, but I promise it'll make sense because I plan on building shelving along the top here. And I also want to use this little area to put little dog beds. And next to my bed, I want to have a crafting table. And we're going to use this to start crafting these shelves. There we go. Now I think it would be cute to put some chests up here. Now I think it'd also be cute to put some lanterns on the shelves. So we'll put one right there and one right there. Then we can also put a little flower pot above our bed. Now for the other side of my bed, I'm just going to put a barrel. Now for this area, I think it would be cute to have some plushies by my bed. So I'm going to go grab those. So for plushies, we have a couple to choose from. I have a Link plushie, a Finn plushie, and a Pusheen plushie. I definitely want the Pusheen plushie by my bed. So let's put Pusheen right there and Finn right there. Now right here, I think I'm going to put a barrel, and then I'm going to put a chest up here and a shelf below it. And then I'm going to put a companion cube from the game Portal right there. And now we can start working on this side of the room. And then over here, I really want to build a desk. So let's start by building these little dividers. And then we can use these spruce stairs as the desk and then use this as the chair. And then we can put some barrels on the top. And then we have this computer. So let's make the shelves here. And then I think it'd be cute to have the little Link plushie right up here. Oops, not like that. Like this. There we go. That's really cute. Now I think we can start bringing the animals back up here. So let's bring Pepper. Okay, so Pepper's gonna sit by my desk. And then let's bring Cherry John and Dusty upstairs to their new little dog beds. Guys, please come upstairs. Where did you go? Come on. Okay, perfect. We got Dusty up here, and we finally have Cherry John up here. So now we have to just awkwardly push them onto their dog bed. This is embarrassing for both of us. There we go. They look so cute over there. Now we still have quite a bit of open space up here, but I think that that's good to save for another episode once we have more items and more ideas to decorate with. And specifically, if you have any ideas for this room over here, please let me know in the comments below because I am drawing a blank. So now that the inside of the house is decorated, I think it's time to decorate the outside of the house. So for the outside of the house, I think it would be really cute to put little window ledges on the bottom of all of the windows and then add little flower pots, just to give the house a pop of color and make the windows look a lot cuter. So we are going to need to make a lot of oak slabs, and we are also going to have to make a ton of flower pots. Hopefully this is enough. Let's start with these windows down here, and I think that that looks adorable. So now we just need to replicate this across the whole house. And of course we're going to use a bunch of different flowers. We also just really have to hope that we don't fall off. Only 2 more windows to go. And there we go. I think that that looks adorable. It definitely gives the house a bit more personality. Now the one last thing I wanted to do today was build a little picnic area right in front of my house. So I thought that right over here underneath this tree it would be really cute to build a little picnic. So in order to do this, we're going to need a few more pieces of wool. Now let's create that little checkered pattern. And now let's place the red wool down. Now all we need is a lantern and of course a picnic basket. So we'll put the lantern here and the picnic basket right there. And I think that that looks so cute. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of VanillaCraft. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye!